Ratios and proportion, a mini lesson using maneuvering the middle. Okay, we're ready. Let's start. Ratios and proportion. Okay, listen. Ratios and proportion. A ratio is a multiplicative comparison of two quantities which describe the same attribute. They can be written in several ways. For example, there are two dogs to every three cats. Take note, I started with two dogs and three cats. That's why in the description here, I could use words. The two dogs goes first. See that? If I use a colon, number 2 goes first. If I use a fraction, 2 is on the top. Okay, the order is important. And for the three cats, if I use words again, the three cats, that means the 3 is the second number. If I use colon, the 3 is the second number. If I use a fraction, 3 is at the bottom. Okay, again, three ways, and the order is important. Ratios can also be written in its simplest terms or simplest forms. Remember that. It's just getting the lowest terms. For example, you have 2 is to 10. I can simplify that by dividing 2 by 2. 2 divided by 2, you get a 1. 10 divided by 2, you get a 5. See, that is the simplest form. Now, we will use the following equipment, soccer equipment, and make a ratio out of it. For example, gloves to total. How many gloves do I see? 1, 2, 3. So I write 3 first for the gloves. That's 3. And I want to know the total. The total is, let's count the number of equipments. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means I'm going to write 12 as my total. Put that together, that becomes 3 is to 12. See, I did not switch the numbers. 3 goes first, the 12 goes next, and I can simplify that by dividing by 3, and I get 1 is to 4. One more example. Cleats to cones. Let's erase our marking here. Okay, what are cleats? Cleats are the following. Cleats are like the shoes. 1, 2, 3. So I write 3 for cleats. And how many cones do I see? 1, 2. So that's 2 cones. So how do I write it? No, it's not 2. It's 3. There's another cone there. All right. So I write it as 3 is to 3. Now I can simplify that by dividing by 3. I get a 1. Dividing by 3, I get a 1. That's the lowest terms. Now, try answering the following. Then I'll reveal the answer. Hit pause. Now here are the answers. See that? Check. See that? Did you simplify 1 is to 2? Check your answer. 1 is to 2. 1 is to 2, the simplified. That's the last answer. Now, another challenge. Write the ratios below. Then determine if the ratios are different. Now, gloves to water bottles. You see how many gloves? 3 and water bottles 2. 3 is to 2. Gloves go first and water bottles is next. So the ratio is 3 to 2. But if I switch the way I said it, I ask for water bottles first, that's going to be 2. And how many gloves? 3. Okay? Now, can you say that 3 is to 2 is the same as 2 is to 3? No, they're different. Okay? Because what? The order is important. Now, let's summarize. Proportion shows two equal ratios in the form of an equation. So remember, you should see the equal sign. Okay, like here, you see an equal sign here. You see another equal sign there. Now, first thing, if one number is missing, this is what you're going to do. For first, they call it scaling. Scaling is when you look for a pattern. Look at the bottom. The 3 became a 24. What pattern do we see? A times 8. Therefore, on top, I'll do the same pattern, times 8. 2 times 8 is 16. So x is equal to 16. Now, you could say that 2 is to 3. 2 is to 3 is the same as 16 is to 24. Okay, that's called scaling. The next one is called setting up an equal equation using cross products. What do we mean by that? Okay, equation. So look at the cross products. Cross products goes like this. Look at the bottom 3 times the x, and then the other cross is 24 times 3. So let's write it down. 3x going that way, and the other one is 24 times 2. You'll get a 48. Now, to solve for x, divide by 3 on the left, divide by 3 on the right, cancels out. What do we get? X is equal to 16. See that? Our answers are the same. So remember that when you do the cross products of a proportion, it will always be equal to each other. For example, 1/2 and 5/10. The cross products would be 1 times 10, 10. 2 times 5 is 10. They are always equal, the cross products. Now it's your turn to do the practice and homework in your packet. Good luck, Rampagers.